We're going to get started. It is 1 p.m. Thank you everyone for joining. It's good to see everyone's face. Let me turn my phone off. It keeps picking up my voice. And welcome to today's event, Plant-Based Living in a Pandemic World, Plant-Based Nutrition and Health in a Pandemic or a Post-Pandemic World now. We're happy to have each and every one of you with us today. Don't mind me if you see me looking off. I'm continuously letting people into the event, and we're so happy that so many people are coming in. The numbers are just moving up and up. First, I just want to begin our introductions. Just want to tell you a little bit about the All of Us research program. It is a historic effort to gather data from 1 million or more people living in the United States in order to accelerate research and improve health. By taking into account individual differences in genes, environment, and lifestyle, researchers uncover paths toward delivering precision medicine. Precision medicine is based on you as an individual. It takes into account your environment, like where you live, your lifestyle, what you do, and your family health history and genetic makeup. And this gives healthcare providers the information they need to make customized recommendations for people of different backgrounds, ages, and regions. It helps you get better information about how to be healthier. Participation in the All of Us research program is simple and easy. All you have to do is log on at www.joinallofus.org, create an account, fill in a consent form, and then take your initial survey. And we'd love to have you join us and grow the number of 1 million or more people. Now to today's event, we're going to have a brief video before we start. Thank you. And now our team member is going to introduce our first presenter.
Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Gibson. I'm a research assistant for the All of Us program here at Morehouse, and I have the pleasure of introducing our first presenter today. Her name is Ms. Rakaya Khan. She is from Atlanta, and she's a certified health coach and a plant-based nutrition expert. And she actually started her journey 5 years ago. She was a middle school teacher and she just wasn't feeling fulfilled, and she decided to just do a total lifestyle change. So Rakia, she's gonna give us some topics on nutrition, and she's gonna cook us something today.
Hey.
So help me welcome Rakaya.
Rakaya, yay.
Hey everyone, my name is Rakaya, and like she said, I am a certified health coach. I'm also certified in plant-based nutrition. Because I am from Atlanta, I was feeling inspired today, and so what I'm gonna make for you guys is a buffalo cauliflower wrap. Crave wings, and I'm like, yeah, I crave wings, but really what I'm craving is that hot sauce. So we're gonna use cauliflower today to replace chicken, throw together just something fresh and healthy that's gonna really, fill you up. It's a great lunch item as well. So if you want something quick and easy for lunch, this is gonna be your recipe. So I have some stuff already prepared, but I wanna show you how to break down the cauliflower. So I have like half of the cauliflower here. You are just going to cut it down into pieces. You want them into a wrap. And cauliflower is great as a chicken replacement. I know everyone's like, it's not chicken. It's not, but it has such good health benefits for you. You're definitely gonna wanna keep this in your diet. So I'm definitely gonna try to keep it some small chunks, put it down for you, and put it into a bowl. So instead of frying this cauliflower, which you might find at a lot of vegan restaurants, I'm gonna roast it in the oven. And that's gonna save you on some of the calories and some of the extra carbohydrates that you don't necessarily need. Still gonna taste really good. So I'm using grapeseed oil, and I'm just going to drizzle some grapeseed oil down on my cauliflower. And a little salt and pepper. So I use pink Himalayan sea salt. I don't know if you guys have seen this in the grocery store, but it's supposed to have just a little bit more nutrition in it than regular salt, and of course pepper. And if any of you follow Tabitha Brown, you probably know garlic powder is her thing. And I love garlic on everything too. So I am going to sprinkle a little bit of garlic onto my cauliflower here. And I am going to just toss that all together. Make sure it's nice and coated in that oil, because it's gonna get crispy and roasted in the oven, which is what you want. And then last but not least, I have some buffalo sauce. So this one doesn't contain any butter. You might have to read your labels because I am plant-based. So I just double check and make sure there's no butter. And I'm gonna drizzle that right over my cauliflower. And it's as much as or as little as you want. If you're a lemon pepper person, throw you some lemon pepper on your cauliflower, whatever makes you happy. Toss that together and spread it onto a cookie sheet. So this is going to go in the oven. Keep your oven really high. I have mine at 400, and it's gonna roast for about 15 minutes. I'm gonna pop that in. And of course, in true cooking fashion, I have some done already to keep us moving on our time schedule. And so I'm going to show you now how to assemble the wrap. So I am using these tortilla wraps. You can find them at your regular grocery store, nothing fancy. Out a wrap to get you going. And then I have some vegan ranch. So you can't have hot wings without either ranch or blue cheese. And so luckily we live in a world where plant-based is starting to be much more easy and simple. And so I found this at my grocery store. It's almond milk based. So you just find it at your grocery store. There's also a vegan blue cheese brand if you're a blue cheese person. So of course there's always some type of replacement product. And I'm just gonna spread that down at the bottom of my wrap. It's gonna make it easier to kind of hold things together. And then here comes the nutrition part. So a lot of us worry about getting enough protein every day, but the other part is that we have to worry about getting enough fiber. And that means you have to increase. But salad greens are a great option. And so I like to put them in wraps like this, so I don't feel like I'm only eating salads. So here is just some salad greens. I'm gonna put those down as the base of my wrap. And then from here, you can top it with whatever other fresh vegetables you like. I have the ones that I like, so I have some. You usually get a side of carrots that you're gonna dip in your ranch. I also have a few pieces of celery that I have diced up already, so I'm gonna put that in there. And again, you wanna give yourself something that still tastes like what you're used to. And so that's why I think I got disconnected. Am I back? Okay, sorry about that. My disconnection, I don't know what happened. So yeah, I'm gonna continue. Okay, I have some cucumber as well that I've diced up. So I'm gonna throw my cucumber in that wrap. that are available at your grocery store and that make you happy, something that's going to make you feel vibrant and alive and healthy and you're going to enjoy. And then I'm going to add my roasted cauliflower. So this has already been cooked and it's kind of cooled down. It already had, and instead I'm going to show you in a video so you can see that it kind of cooks down. It gets nice and roasty, and that's going to be, you know, the substitute for your chicken. Now for all my people, and that's again going to give you your hot wing flavor that you like. And so now for the piece de resistance, I am going to wrap it up nice and tight.
Sounds
This
good.
is fun if you have children and you to their personal wraps. And you know, just make it about having fun. You know, we don't want to feel restricted by eating a plant-based diet. You don't want to feel like, well, I have to give up everything that I used to eat. You want to feel like I have those good replacements for the things that I used to eat and that now I can put back into my life. And so that's always been my mission, is to just simplify plant, make it tasty and healthy and really make you feel like you're getting the nutrition you need, but eating is still fun. So again, that's the end of the wrap. I'm going to cut it in half so that it makes it a little bit easier to eat. And I'm just going to show you really quickly what it looks
God.
like.
Ooh.
Inside,
Oh my
tasty,
goodness.
and I'm going to take a bite.
Ah, you're wrong for that.
You have to make this at home.
Mm.
So I'm going to put the recipe into my Instagram. I'll replay this video on my Instagram. So if any of y'all are interested in making it, it's super simple, super easy. And again, the brand for the ranch is Kite Hill. So sometimes I'll just eat this with some veggies as a snack.
Good, good.
A little demonstration. Appreciate you guys for reaching out and having me on here. And of course, if you have any questions or comments, let me know.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you, Rakaya.
Thank you. Wonderful.
And roasted cauliflower is one of my favorite things. Well, I actually fry mine, so I'm going to try the roasted recipe. But I love cauliflower wraps.
Ooh, look delicious.
It does. All right, and Rakaya, you said you're going to let everyone know your Instagram and where they can find you.
Oh yes, my Instagram is Kiyyahs, KIYYAHS _ plant-based kitchen. And so on there, I'm always sharing health tips. I'm always sharing just knowledge that I come by my own wellness journey, what I'm doing in my coaching career. And if you're interested in getting coaching, you can reach out to me there as well.
Can you repeat it one more time, please?
Mm-hmm.
And you can put it in the chat too, Rakaya.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'll type it into the chat, and it's Kiyyahs _ plant-based kitchen.
Okay.
Plant-based.
Right, thank you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so
absolutely.
much.
Thank y'all for having me.
And now my coworker is gonna introduce our next presenter.
All right, thank you so much, Ashley. That was wonderful. Now I'll introduce to you our next presenter, who is Shlomiel Israel. He is an urban farmer, a youth agricultural educator, and a compost specialist. He is a graduate of the Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, where he studied agricultural business. His journey with agriculture has taken him on many ventures, and for the past 3 years, he has been working with Atlanta Harvest. Outside of taking a major role in growing food, he organizes and manages all of their educational programs for both adults and children. Teaching others to be self-sustainable through growing food is one of the utmost importance to Shlomiel and the Atlanta Harvest team. Please welcome Shlomiel.
Yay.
Shalom, shalom, you guys. Peace. My name is Shlomiel. I'm grateful for this opportunity to be able to come before such a prestigious institution and be able to share that which the Most High has directed me in. And so as you can see some sunflowers. It's a beautiful day. It's
Yes.
wonderful outside. I know with this whole pandemic now, it's kind of been it's a blessing and a curse to an extent, because it's unfortunate the things that are happening to people losing their lives and things, but it's also got people outside a lot more. It's got them back in touch
Right.
with just having some quiet time, you know, and
Amen.
actually being able to spend some family time together. I'm a husband and a father of 4. So these things are very important, and just things moving so fast, this really slowed everything down and is getting things back to a more traditional kind of a lifestyle. Reconnecting with
Mhm.
nature is pivotal for us and for our health overall, because we come from the earth and it gives us everything that we need to be nourished. We've become so uh, it's just become so convenient to be able to go to a grocery store and get your produce and get your food. So those reaping and sowing kind of just natural law that you learn. I've seen kids, you know, some kids don't understand that their food comes out of the ground. So then it lets you know the kind of disconnect that they have from
Hmm.
ultimately from reality. So being able to get them back into, okay, my tomato comes from the ground, you know, my beet is in the ground, my potatoes come out. Being able to get them back in tune with those kinds of things, I've seen the wonders that it can do over time, just with cognitive development, even with some of the ailments that some get classified with ADHD. I mean, you put a kid outside and you have them picking some weeds or tilling some ground, they ain't gonna have no problem sitting down when it's time to sit down. I promise you. And so I just really wanted to talk to you all about just a few things. Healthy soil. One of the things that I truly look at is understanding growing crops. It doesn't matter if you throw a seed in there, if the soil is not healthy and alive, you're not going to get a yield. So
Mm.
that's very important. That's
True.
one of the biggest things. A lot of people that think that they have black thumbs don't actually have black thumbs. They just may not have any quality soil.
Okay.
And that's your building blocks and your foundation for any garden. As above, so below. The same way there's different kinds of people, shades, colors, and everything, it's the same way in your
Mm.
soil. You've got earthworms, you've got red wigglers, you've got Egyptian night crawlers. So there's a whole ecosystem within the soil that unfortunately we in the West have been taught that something that is sterile is good. Sterile doesn't necessarily mean good. It means sterile, it's clean. But when you go into your gut microbe and your gut biome, I mean, that's all of the different microbes and everything that's going on within you. And so when you take those things out of the soil, then it's going to lead to other ailments and things because your body's not able to function the proper way. That chemical-free
Mhm.
growing. I am a firm believer in not using any chemicals. Just something that I learned over the years, especially while I was in school, and a lot of my colleagues were deciding to go to the USDA or Monsanto or some of these other big companies. Which I mean, more power to them, you know. But
Yeah.
for me, I was able to see just kind of the back end side of the companies that own your insecticides, pesticides, and herbicides and their relationships to your pharmaceutical companies. So being able to stay away from chemicals is number one. If you take care of the soil and do proper soil management and practices, you don't have anything to worry about. You don't have to use a lot of chemicals. You don't have to use any chemicals in order to grow your crops. And the courage to do an ancient science, you know, here at Atlanta Harvest, you know, we're believers in the Bible. And so we understand that the very first ordination or the first job of man was put in the garden and was to take care of it, intended to
Amen.
take care of it. So
Mm.
this is an ancient science. This is something that is eternal. This is something that as long as we're here, there's going to be seed time and harvest time, a time for sowing and a time for reaping. So getting back into the natural cycle, you know, me being able to go to the grocery store and just get a strawberry in the dead middle of winter isn't the same as, okay, well, I know strawberry season is in about 4 months. So I need to go ahead and start getting my starts ready and plant. It kind of builds that patience and just knowing that there's a time and a season for all things. And then when you eat according to what's into season, it allows your body to get what it needs in order to properly function. A lot of people don't realize that during the winter, that's when you get a lot of your greens, like your collards, your kale, your mustards, those greens that we all love. But they're actually extremely high in vitamin C. So during the winter time, you need vitamin C. And so the earth literally gives us what we need when we need it.
Mm.
Wanted to that exercise. Food is medicine. Just from my own personal experience, we had at one of the gardens that I worked at before I came here when I was still in Tallahassee at FAM, and there was a young girl. She had a broken leg. She could barely sit still, even though she had a broken leg. She could barely communicate properly. Her speech just was everywhere. Her train of thought was everywhere. She would go to the store every day though and get a little $1 pack of cookies, big pack of cookies, and she'd eat them all down. So what I was able to see and witness firsthand, and really just, it blew my mind. It created a complete paradigm shift for me. Was I got her to start eating raw curly kale. And as she started to eat this plant, I was able to see her entire makeup change, literally. She was able to sit still. She was able to speak in complete sentences. She was able to actually hold a conversation. You could actually tell her that she was computing in her mind what she was saying before it actually came out. So, I mean, it was just a completely different child. All from, okay, instead of going to spend this $1 just come pick you some curly kale. And she loved it, still loves it to this day. So I've seen the power of food when used as medicine, because, you know, every medicine that we have, it comes from some kind of plant extract or something. So just going back to the source for those type things. In addition to that, benefits of having a garden. You know, I tell people that having a garden, in your garden, you're going to have weeds. It's like keeping your mind as well, though. You know, you're going to have thoughts and things that are going to be contrary to the goals and the tasks that you're trying to complete. So the same way you weed a garden is the same way you have to weed out those negative thoughts, emotions, and feelings that come in to try to distract you and deter you from completing the goal at hand. So there's a lot of similitudes that you're able to actually put into practice when you start gardening and farming. So now I want to do a quick demonstration with you guys, and then I'm going to do a quick walk around of just some of the plants that we have here at Atlanta Harvest. Let me see how I can flip this around. There we go. All right.
Wow.
So this is a pepper plant. These come in six plants per pot. And so all you do is, I'm going to show you the root structure and everything. So this is the plant when you get it. You can start from seed. These are called starts. So they've already started, but you can start just from a seed. These white things that you're seeing, for those that don't know, this is your root system. What encourages healthy roots is good fungal growth. It allows for your roots to be able to be stronger and and if they're stronger, they're able to take up more water and more nutrients to create a healthier plant. So when you get a plant out of something like this, a lot of times, if it's been growing good, it's going to kind of be bunched up down here a little bit. All you're going to want to do is just tickle the roots a little bit. This is one of my favorite exercises to do with children, because, you know, they get to get their hands dirty and get them in the soil. The benefit of doing this, though, if you've ever planted something and it didn't grow, if you didn't loosen up the roots at the bottom, it could cause the roots to start wrapping around, and then they're not actually spreading out, but staying contained in this one section, which then they end up dying. So when you actually open them up like this, it allows for the roots to be able to spread and go out and search and seek for water and nutrients. From there, just going to open this up and drop it in. Should have got a little bit more soil. I can still fit. And so that's basically it. I mean, it's literally this simple to plant a pot. Plant a plant, and from here you just water it. Typical water. Some plants like more water than others. With these, I say put your finger in and about 2 inches. If it's dry within the first two inches, to go ahead and add some more water. And this will yield you peppers all season long, from literally from spring to the fall.
What kind of peppers?
These are some sweet banana peppers. Then there's different kinds of peppers. Fun fact, when planting peppers, please listen to me. Do not put hot peppers with like your sweet banana peppers, because what's going to end up happening is one hot pepper plant can turn, literally, we had probably about 200 pepper plants in the back, turn all those other sweet pepper plants hot, that one hot plant. So those are the kinds of things that you kind of have to be mindful for, but you learn over time. Those are some of the courses that we're going to be offering at Atlanta Harvest. We're moving to Ellenwood, and we're building a farm from ground up. So if you want to be able to see what all goes into it, definitely follow us. I'm gonna give y'all a quick walk around of the garden just to kind of show you, you know, this is a place of shalom, a place of peace, for you to unwind. And I mean, it's therapeutic for me. So back here we have some sunflowers. I'll get closer, maybe some bees out. Yeah, I'll show y'all there real quick so you see the bees moving around. So these are some sunflowers right here. We
Oh,
have some
nice.
onions growing right here. We also have
Beautiful.
radishes that are growing up. There's weed as well. So being able to identify weed from the plant that's actually growing. Right here we have tomatoes just right in here on the vine. So we're
Ooh,
gonna let those grow and ripen. I'm gonna bring you over here. Yeah, some of these have ripened up a little bit more. So you see like right here, and I eat my food raw. I eat a lot of my food raw. I mean, once you have a tomato fresh off the vine, I mean, there's literally nothing like it as well. Over here, this is a different kind of squash. Some of you may be familiar with it. This is called a patty pan squash. These things taste excellent. On the outside, it's kind of a rough, but it's not rough. I should say coarse. It's got fiber. It's fibrous. But in the middle, where the seeds are, it's almost like a buttery surprise on the inside. And one of the last things that I want to show y'all that we all love is some watermelon. So we've got a watermelon that's growing right there. We have sheep and goats and different things. So
beautiful, beautiful.
just getting back to, like I say, just this, I mean, this ancient way, but really conventional way of living and farming and gardening and being in tune with the land. If you're looking for supplies to start your own garden, you can come to Atlanta Harvest. We have everything that you need. We have fruit trees. That's one of the, just for a moment, fruit trees are excellent additions to schools, neighborhoods, communities, and family properties because it's something that's able to be passed down from generation to generation. So what a project that we do with some students is we do a legacy project where they actually plant fruit trees. They won't actually be able to eat the fruit from those trees that they plant that year, but the students that come after them will be able to. So getting them into the mind frame of doing something for somebody else and leaving something for those that are coming after you. I greatly appreciate you all's time, and get your hands dirty. Get out here in the soil, and you can come visit us at Atlanta Harvest anytime. We're open Sunday through Thursday from 11 to 6, Fridays 11 to 3, and closed on Saturdays.
Where, where are you located?
2024 Walt Stevens Road, Jonesboro, Georgia, 30236, if I'm correct. But like I said, we're getting ready to relocate to Ellenwood, bigger property. And if you follow us on Instagram, that's probably Instagram or Facebook, just Atlanta Harvest. Just real simple. Atlanta Harvest. So we're here for the community. That's why we're here. You know, we have another farm further down south, a 40-acre farm. That's where we do most of our production. But we wanted to be able to get closer to the people, to be able to give everyone access to good food, safe food. We are naturally grown and certified. We are the only Black-owned nursery and farm that is naturally grown and certified in the U.S. So our standards are actually above organic standards. So just to let you know the kind of quality that you will be getting when you come here.
Thank you. Awesome, awesome.
All right, yes, thank you so much, Shlomiel. We learned a lot today. Not only did we learn about gardening, but now we know how to actually start our own little garden wherever we are. So at this time, we will have our next presentation by Khadija from the All of Us program.
Hello everyone, my name is Khadija Jana. I'm a research assistant for All of Us here at Morehouse School of Medicine. In addition, I'm also a certified personal trainer. I'm going to talk about some health tips, health and fitness tips. My interest in fitness initially stemmed from my background as an athlete throughout high school and college. But particularly, I'm passionate about health education and fitness. I'm definitely excited about this event. And even though I am still passionate about fitness, like I admit that I had some issues adjusting to life at home and trying to stay motivated to stay fit or active at all. So today I'm going to share a few tips that have helped me recently. Not only am I going to share those tips, I'm going to emphasize the importance of physical activity in our daily lives. So I'm going to start with a quick video, and then we'll go into detail about the benefits of each of these tips. Okay, so we're going to go into detail. Tip number 1 is to just start somewhere. According to the Department of Health and Human Services, adults should do 150 to 300 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity per week for substantial health benefits. You may ask, what are those health benefits? Regular exercise helps to lower risk of heart attack, type 2 diabetes. It strengthens your bones, which lowers your risk of osteoporosis. Also, it helps reduce blood cholesterol levels. That's extremely important because I know a lot of those issues, health issues, are what we see predominantly in our community. I know during research, we see a lot of that in some of our participants. So it's definitely important to try to incorporate some type of physical activity into your daily lives. And then we're going to go into step 2. So tip number 2 is to incorporate physical activity into your daily routine. So if you've lived a fairly sedentary life up until this point, and you're a little hesitant about jumping right into starting physical activity, here are a few small things that you can do to just incorporate this into your daily routine. So say you're heading out to the store. One tip is to try parking further away and going to the grocery store instead of circling around the lot looking for that park right in front. I know a few of you, I'm talking directly to you. I know you'll circle 5 or 6 times, looking for the perfect car to store ratio. Listen, just find that first available park, get those steps in. It'll make a huge difference. Another big tip is to take the stairs instead of the elevators. Studies have shown that stair climbing requires about 8 to 11 kilocalories per minute, and active stair climbers have been found to have more aerobic capacity than others. And the last thing is just to add some movement to your housework. Saturday morning, you've got that gospel music playing, you know what time it is. So then here's your chance to be more intentional about your movements. You'd be surprised how many calories you can burn just vacuuming or cleaning your home. So those are a few small tips to just get you started. If you're ready to jump right in, then my next tip will help you incorporate some actual exercise into your routine. All right, so tip number 3 is physical exercise. There are so many different types of exercise you can do, so many methods of training. Today, I'm just gonna highlight my favorite 2. We're gonna have high intensity interval training, also known as HIIT training. Also, we're going to talk about resistance training, also known as strength or weight training. So in high intensity interval training, it's a cardiovascular training method. It's characterized by short, intense exercises, so short periods of time with intense exercises. It's followed by short recovery periods. So some of the benefits of this, my favorite is that it's short. Doesn't take more than 30 minutes usually. You don't have to carve out hours of your day to get it done. It's effective for weight loss. You're gonna burn some calories. It improves your oxygen consumption. Can help reduce heart rate, blood pressure, and blood sugar. So that goes back to some of those benefits we talked about in the first slide. The next type of training is resistance training, another one of my favorites. So during this type of exercise or training, you're moving your limbs against resistance band or resistance provided by body weight, bands, gravity, weights, or dumbbells. And if you're thinking that you don't have any of those items at home, such as the weights, dumbbells, this is your time to be creative. I've seen people using jugs of water, cartons of cleaning supplies, brooms, mops. I don't know if my colleague Sam is on here, but at one point I saw him lifting his couch exercising, so the possibilities are endless. You just have to get creative, but don't let that be a hindrance to you. Some of the benefits of this type of exercise includes improved muscle strength and toning, increased bone density, decreased risk of osteoporosis, improved posture, and decreased risk of injury. So we're gonna go to tip number 4. So tip number 4 is go for a run or walk outdoors. I think we talked about earlier in the segment the importance of getting outside, and this time is allowing us to do that. So running and walking is a great type of cardiovascular exercise. This helps prevent and manage high blood pressure, heart disease, and diabetes, burns calories, again, reduces arthritis pain and stiffness, boosts your mood. We can all use that. Soak up some vitamin D. So my suggestion is to grab your family, friends, head outside. During this time, especially being outdoors is honestly a luxury. So if you can, I definitely advise you to take advantage of it. And then we're gonna go straight into our last and maybe most important tip is to just have fun with it. Exercise does not have to be a chore, and it shouldn't be a chore. It helps to stimulate the release of endorphins, which help relieve pain and stress. It also raises serotonin levels that helps boost your mood and your sense of well-being. Some of the things that keeps me excited about working out, I use a fitness tracker. You can use Fitbit, Apple Watch, things like that. I join challenges with my friends. We see who can run the most miles this week. And also I just challenge myself. I set my goals and I try to beat those each week. So that can help you keep motivated and stay in tune with your health. And again, just be creative. There's so much that you can do. There's no one size fits all. There's no black and white way to stay active. You just have to find what works for you and stick to that. Whatever motivates you, do that. I know we have some TikTokers on here. If you're not one personally, you probably have one in your household. I've seen people burning upwards of 200 calories just learning a TikTok dance. So again, there's no one size fits all. You just find what works for you and roll with that. So I know we went over these 5 tips. I think it's very important to just not be overwhelmed and to start somewhere. I know that one of my favorite quotes is that action is the foundational key to success. So I'm going to challenge each one of you today to just take one step, doesn't matter how big or small that step is, but one step towards a healthier you. And while you're at it, keep those tips in mind. I know a lot of you, next time you go to the store and you circle around that parking lot for the 3rd time, you're gonna hear my voice in your head. Just gonna park in that first space that you see. But yeah, I just challenge each one of you to take either one of these tips or anything that gets you motivated and just take one step towards a healthier you today. And that is the end of my 5 tips. We're going to transition into our Q&A portion. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. You can either unmute yourself and ask, or you can type it in the chat box, and that goes for questions about any one of our segments today.
Great job, Khadijah. Thank you so much. I know I had a question for Rakaya. I guess I should allow others to ask first, but Rakaya, are there any like essential foods that you would suggest to start off with? It just seems so overwhelming. What would you suggest?
Absolutely. I'm going to say beans. And some people might not, be a bean person, but one of the bigger things is that people say, where do you get your protein? And from being plant-based, I get plenty of protein, and that's because I use beans in most daily life. So if you're looking for like a chicken substitute, you might want to try chickpeas. They taste good in pretty much any recipe where you would normally use chicken. Black beans, of course, if you're doing something spicy and Mexican, you can make some black bean tacos. You can do red beans if you're having Cajun. So I do red beans and rice regularly. Have me some okra, something like that. So you definitely want to incorporate a different protein source. You also may want to try some vegan alternative protein options. They are not bad for you if you eat them in moderation. I think they're really good if you are transitioning and you still have cravings for certain things. So you might want to try like a Gardein burger or something like that. But you just, like she said, you want to start slow. You want to start one day at a time, maybe just do meatless Mondays and, throw some things in, try it, taste it, see what you like, what you don't like, and then you'll slowly but surely start to replace those things with plant-based options, and you'll feel better. you'll start to feel the rewards of it, and then it won't feel so daunting. When you start feeling better, you're like, okay, I can do this. Let me take it one step further. My personal transition, I didn't go cold turkey. So it took me about a year or a year and a half before I was completely vegan. And so give yourself grace and time to get used to the changes that you're making. And you know, you're gonna slip up. Like I said, I'm from Atlanta, so people are like, did you have hot wings? Like maybe one of those times I did. I had some fried fish when I went to my grandma's house, but I'm still, you know, past that now. But when I was transitioning, it was okay. You have to allow yourself that time to make that transition. So I hope that helped. I hope that answered everyone's.
It did. You touched what I was going to say, because I kind of went plant-based some time ago, but then the meat pulled me back. You know, the chicken, the shrimp, the fish. And so would you consider fish part of plant-based or?
Most people who are like 100% plant-based don't eat fish. But I also encourage people to not make it about the label. So if you're 90% plant-based and you eat fish 10% of the time, that's your business. Like, do what works for you. My mom has pretty much transitioned over to plant-based, but sometimes she's like, oh girl, I gotta give me some crab legs. And there's no judgment there, because it's about being better. It's not about being perfect, it's about being better and reaping the benefits of living a healthier lifestyle. And so if you want to live a healthier lifestyle, you take it one step at a time. It's not about getting to, oh, I get to, you know, wear vegan on my chest. I don't care about the label. I just want my people to be healthier. And that's my goal and my mission.
Thank you, Rakaya. Thank you so much. Does anyone have another question for either Rakaya, Shlomiel, or Khadijah?
I have a question for Rakaya. So Rakaya, I'm plant-based. Like most of my diet is, I eat like a little meat every now and then. But my issue is that once I started eating more plant-based, my iron level dropped like significantly. So I'm like constantly taking like iron supplements. So did you have that issue?
Yes, I actually, let me grab it really quick.
I didn't know that, Ashley.
So I like to get my iron from plant-based sources because I did have low iron too. I still eat a ton of green vegetables, and sometimes, you know, if it's not processing right, you might not get the iron. So this is the one that I use. Higher to Health is the brand. And the iron is from plants. So it's yellow dock root, burdock root, dandelion root, sarsaparilla, elderberry, and cocoa mecca. And so it's all herbal. And that's the way that I get iron. I feel like my body absorbs it better than something that might be from other sources, or I don't necessarily know the company. So again, that company is Higher to Health. I'll post it in the chat box if you guys want to support them. They have a ton of other different herbs for different things, but that's my iron supplement.
Thank you.
I have a question for Shlomiel. We have a chat that we just received, and it's from a Tyra Bethune. Thank you, Tyra. Is Shlomiel still on? Because I can't see him.
Greetings, I am.
Okay, great. The question is, let me go back to it. What fruit trees are currently available at Atlanta Harvest?
All right, I'll take you on a walk real quick. Yeah. All right, so coming down here, we just got some more watermelons in from my other farm. You can see them over there. So sweet. But right now, these are all of the fruit trees that we have available. We have some plums. We have some peaches. We also have some apples, some persimmons. These are fig. I love fig trees. They grow excellent. One of the benefits of the fig as well is you can actually use the leaf from the fig, get it in some water, about 2 or 3 leaves and about a gallon of water. And if you massage it with your hand, it will actually break down the cell wall. And it's actually really good for dry scalp and for nourishing your scalp. One additional benefits of that, we've got some plums. We've got those apples, peaches, persimmons, apples. What else? Persimmon pears, that's what it is. We've got some pears as well. And then we have some muscadines, some muscadine and scuppernine vines. And then we have blackberries and blueberries. Hello, still
Great.
there?
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Great.
Yep. Yep. So that's what we have available right now.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else, please? Still have some time for. Good.
We have another question for Shalomio. It's from Crystal Jack. Her question is, what are your recommendations for someone new to gardening with limited space for gardening? And that's a great question.
Excellent question. Depends on if you have a balcony or if you don't have a balcony. If you're growing in the window, sill, or out on the front porch. So if you don't have any space outside, one thing that I would suggest doing is, if you're in an apartment complex, possibly talking to the complex about getting a community garden started. But if you can't do that, and that's just not an option right now, then something as simple as aloe vera. It's a very simple, easy plant to keep alive with so many medicinal benefits. I mean, growing up, I'm from Georgia as well. I'm from Atlanta as well, but all my family's from Mississippi. You know, if somebody gets a cut, you go get your aloe vera plant, rub it on you. It's like a Band-Aid. I mean, it works excellent. But then aloe vera, I found as I got older, aloe vera is actually really good to be eaten as well to help with your digestive tract. So that's a very simple one that can be grown inside that does have medicinal benefits. Herbs grow very easy. So if you get you just a pot and put some mint in it, some mint seeds or mint starch, that grows really easy. So it's not so much of I would not suggest growing a watermelon in the house because the watermelon vines can go out well over 20+ feet. So those are the kinds of things to be keen of. But like if you have a front porch, then a pepper plant, and just put it right out there and it'll grow, have a nice little pepper tree. So.
Okay, Shalomio, I have a few more questions for you.
Okay.
For Atlanta Harvest. Someone is saying they didn't know that there was a farm in Jonesboro, and trying to get back up to it, but I think she said she would be there tonight. I hope she doesn't, no stalking allowed, but she'll be there.
Okay.
Let's see here. Is seedless watermelon a good choice? And that comes from Heidi Gordon.
Me personally, I don't eat anything that does not have a seed. The life is in the seed. So when you take the life force that resides within the plant, then what are you really eating? What is it really doing? Like I say, the life is in the seed. So me personally, I don't, and would not suggest anybody else, because we really don't know what kind of effects this is really having on our body. Just being honest.
Okay.
Long term, we really don't.
Okay, and that was a popular question. Like I said, it came from Heidi Gordon. Also, Ms. Mama Jones asked that question as well. So that's a very popular thought, I think.
Yeah. And if I may add in, just he who feeds you controls you. Growing food is like growing money. We were told money doesn't grow on trees, but if I grow a pepper plant and I harvest those peppers and I sell those peppers $4 a pound, it's money just grew on that plant, on that tree. So there's a certain resiliency to being able to grow your own food and provide your sustenance that we've been systematically removed from, if I can put it the best way that I can. There's no reason that fruit trees shouldn't be everywhere. We have a little plot back in the back where we had some chickens and stuff, and so we would dump compost back there. And this year, I mean, we've harvested at least already about 40 to 50 pumpkins that we did not plant, at least well over 100 tomato plants back there. And we didn't plant any of this stuff. This is stuff just from seeds being on the ground. And when it's their time to come forth, they did. So that's another reason I'm a very big proponent of growing your own food and eating things with seed, because the first time I ever grew a watermelon, me and my cousins would sit out on one of those little green electrical boxes, and we would just spit seeds all day, eat us some watermelon and spit some seeds. And so one time we were out there playing football, throwing the ball, it went behind a little bush, and we went over there and it's a whole watermelon. So those kinds of things, the availability to food, when you get into food deserts and food insecurity, that's a whole nother subject. But there's no reason anybody should be hungry. And when we eat seedless fruit and we're not putting those seeds back into the earth, then it perpetuates this system in this cycle.
Great point. Great point. Okay, I'm looking to see here. There's another question. And I think it's for Shlomiel as well. It's, again, another question from Ms. Tyra Bethune. Do they ever do home visits or home gardener consults in the Morrow area?
Yes, we do. I'm actually over that department as well. I can come out and build an entire edible landscape for you.
Oh my gosh, awesome.
Yeah. You can walk outside and there's food. So you've got my contact information. You can reach out. Another one that you all can take, I'll put it in the chat group real quick.
Okay.
And that's another way that you can get in contact. And we also work with schools. We partnered with Clayton County School Board this year. And working on fruit tree projects, manage the gardens at schools as well. So if you want something to be able to go out there and eat, it's YaRootsLandscaping@gmail.com. You can just contact me there and we can make it happen. I mean, whether you want raised beds, in-ground beds, in all levels. And one thing that I do in addition to that is, if you have children, I allow the kids to work with me and the family in general, anybody that wants to, because my whole thing is about not just, like they say, not just giving a person a fish so they can eat for a day, but teaching them to fish. I don't want to just give people food. I want them to know how to grow their own food.
And I'd like to ask that same question to Rakaya. Do you do consults? Same thing with Khadijah. Are we able to contact you to do that?
Okay. Absolutely. I am definitely willing to consult. I do free consultations. So if you just want to talk about your goals and get some quick tips on how to start, I'm here for that. I also provide coaching. So if you wanted to do like an 8-week plan where we go through your pantry, we talk about grocery shopping, we talk about how do you start making substitutes, I can do that as well. So it just depends on what your needs are. I'm customizable. If you have families, I have a lot of families who are trying to get more plant-based. So just let me know what you need. Again, contact me and I can drop, I think I already put my email address there. So just send me an email and we can set up times there.
Thank you, thank you. Okay. All right, looks like the questions have trickled. Sorry, one last one for Khadijah. And this again is from Ms. Heidi Gordon. Khadijah, what is your take on sit-ups for losing your midsection? And I promise that's from Heidi, not me, but go ahead.
I think they can be effective for toning your midsection, but I think it's important that we have Rakaya on there, because if you're going to lose that fat or any fat that's covering those muscles, it's going to be based on the food that you consume. There's a saying that abs are made in the kitchen, not the gym. And that's true. Like, that foundation is going to be in the food that you eat. The exercises, that's what's going to help tone them and, shape them. But the biggest thing in or losing your midsection is going to be your nutrition. So like cutting out fatty foods, monitoring like sodium in your diet, things like that are going to be very important to losing that midsection.
Okay, well, thank you so much, everyone. That concludes our chat section, and we'll move now on to our closing presentations. Ludwin?
Ray lives on a farm. He loves playing kickball with his grandkids, but lately he's gotten a little slower and been visiting the doctor a lot more often. This is Kim. Kim lives in the city, She loves to exercise, cook healthy meals, and can't remember the last time she called in sick. They're both people, but not all people are the same. And yet, when we visit the doctor, our treatments don't look that different. Why is that? Because we just don't have enough information to do it better until now. Enter All of Us, the research program based on precision medicine. Precision medicine is a revolutionary new approach to treating and preventing disease that's personalized instead of one size fits all. By gathering health data from 1 million people like Ray and Kim and Trevor and Samir, our country's best researchers will be able to develop treatments that are as unique and complex as we are. With this new information, doctors will have a better understanding of disease so they can innovate the next great breakthroughs in medicine. Once enough people join, suddenly everything changes. Information becomes clear, patterns emerge, and simple data transforms into life-saving knowledge. This means that Ray and Kim's children and their children's children can live longer, healthier lives. By becoming one of the first 1 million people to volunteer, you can help reshape the entire future of healthcare for generations to come. If we can figure out how to fly, put a man on the moon, and connect the entire world, surely we should be able to improve the future of healthcare. Not just for Ray and Kim or even you, but for all of us. Sign up at joinallofus.org. The future of health begins with you.
Well, thank you so much.
I think you're muted, Cheryl.
I'll start again. The future of health truly begins with you. And today we have gotten some great advice on how to build healthier bodies and how to build the systems and the foods that go into those bodies. We want to thank Rakaya Khan, we want to thank Shlomiel Israel, and we want to thank Khadija Jana for their expertise and their information. It has been invaluable in this last little bit of an hour. Once again, our whole purpose here, the All of Us Research Program, it coincides with everything that we've done today about building a healthier you and letting doctors and researchers find the best treatments for you. Please go to joinallofus.org where you can create an account and become a participant. We'd love to have you. Again, we thank you so much for being here. Thank you, and we appreciate your time and your presence. We look forward to our next event. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much. Just hold tight one moment, ladies. Okay. Just getting some statements at the end to me. Okay, well, I'm going to close it out and we'll converse. I'll start a Zoom for us, okay?